You know, he's basically homeless most of the time. And
Hi guys, how are you doing today? My name is Kidneyjay. The J stands for jerk because my kidneys are a pair of jerks. And yes, your ears did not deceive you about hearing something about a homeless man, and your eyes did not become treasonous by reading the title of this video. Yes, Candy is looking to move in her now homeless ex-husband to help her out with things. So she talked about it during this cupcake video. I was kind of wondering what was going on because, late August, beginning of September, Candy was talking a lot about therapy, going to a physician, getting her shit together, basically. And she did comment in my last video that yes, she was getting therapy because in September it was radio silent. There was a lot of chewing, not a lot of talking about what's going on in her life. But this cupcake video, she updated everything for us, and it might be a long one, so let's get into it. But guys, you know what I'm going to have to ask you to do? It would bake my day if you could maybe put some icing on that like button, sprinkle that subscribe button if you're new, leave a comment down below. Really want to hear your thoughts on this one. As well as I do have memberships, 2 tiers if you want to help support my humble little channel that way. So let's get into it. Candy talking about therapy, her ex-husband, all that stuff.
But, yeah, I'm doing my therapy. I'm trying to get my inflammation down so I'm more physically able to, like, walk around and do stuff.
So I'm going to assume that those were 2 separate statements. I'm seeing a therapist and trying to get my inflammation down. What Candy does not say in this video is if she's actually seeing a physician.
Yeah, I've been really, like, struggling with stuff. And, yeah, I'm figuring it out. I'm gonna figure it out. What it boils down to is I really need help here. You know, I mean, I appreciate everybody's help giving me all this advice. Saying, oh, you can do this, or you can do that, and you can do this, and you can do that. And it's like, yeah, I could, but can I? Because I don't do it. It's like, what kind of mental block do I have to getting stuff done?
So to me, it sounds like she's talking about she needs help basically with physical things. Cleaning up, taking out the trash, all that stuff. And I think what she's talking about for mental blocks is maybe she could physically do these things, but I've experienced this because your body is in so much physical pain. It takes a lot of mental capacity just to work up the strength to go about and do it. That's just my take on it.
Anyway, so I'm like, I'm looking into things. Some of y'all might remember I had my ex-husband Red come and stay with me for a few weeks, a few years ago. And, ooh. And while it's not the best idea, I spoke with him. I was thinking about him a few days ago. And I was like, you know, and he called me today and we talked a little bit, and I was like, the things that I was thinking about, I was like, okay, maybe, as long as we're not like talking about like getting back together, that kind of thing.
So I'm trying to search the recesses of my mind here when that happened. When did Candy's ex-husband move in? I'm thinking maybe it was the time when hungry hippie Thomas had his stroke. Could have been then. But just so you guys know, this is the father of her child. And just to lay some context down, I'm going to show a clip about her talking about her children so we get an idea how old her children are right now.
I've mentioned having kids. My boy is 18. My girl is 16. They don't live with me, but I love them so much. And I miss them. They live with their grandmother.
So that would make Hungry Fatchick's daughter around 22, 23, and the son around 25, 26. Hopefully I did that math right. Who knows? Math is not KJ's strong suit.
And we just, he's kind of down on his luck right now. And, he's staying with our son. And, excuse me. And I was like, maybe I could just help him out a little bit. And take him in for a little while. And maybe he could help me. He's very clean. He's very organized. And he's willing to help, he's willing to do whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to say it now because I know it's going to be said in the comments. Candy is just looking for a caretaker. I don't think, as far as hygiene goes, wiping, bathing, all that stuff, I don't think that's what she's looking for here. I do believe she does do that still on her own and is capable to do it on her own. I think, like I said before, it's more of like the trash, the dishes, cleaning up stuff, just stuff like that.
And he's not a bad guy. I mean, we were together over 10 years, and we had bad times, but I had bad times with Thomas as well. I mean, it was not all bad, So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. He's staying with our son right now, and if I bring him to stay with me for a few weeks, maybe a month, if it works out that way. I'm not looking for romance. I'm just looking for a companion, I guess. I'm 52, he's 56. He's basically homeless most of the time, and he's not smoking cigarettes anymore. That's a good thing. That's something I can't really tolerate or deal with, is the smell of cigarette smoke, but we'll work it out. I mean, if I haven't made my final decision yet, but it's definitely something that's weighing on my brain. And I'm going to talk to Susan about it tonight. I'm going to talk to my therapist next Thursday.
My goodness, we all heard the wheezing when she said about the smoking. Listen, I'm glad that at least he doesn't smoke, and this isn't final. She needs to talk to her therapist. She needs to talk to her friend Susan.
I'm sitting here in this apartment by myself, and I'm looking at all the stuff that I have, and I'm like, one wrong step, and I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in a nursing facility. And that's something that scares me, and if I had somebody here to kind of help me with this and that, that would be a blessing, and if I can kind of help him get a leg up as well, that would be good. I don't know.
Okay, so that really resonated with me. One wrong step and I'm in a nursing facility. You guys, if you have followed me, earlier this year, I broke both my hips, and I was fortunate enough after rehab to go to my parents. They were able to help me. Candy is not fortunate enough to have people in her life that are willing to help in that way. So it seems like Candy wants this to turn out to be a sort of a symbiotic relationship. He would help her with anything physical around the apartment, and she would help him get back on his feet. Now, I do have a question for my very clever, very informed audience here. Why aren't programs like a PSW, we call that a PSW here, personal support worker, or an aide, a helper that would come in a few times a week and sort of help her with those physical tasks? Why is that not available to her at this time? Is it because she needs to see like an actual physician to get those programs set up?
I don't know. I'm a grumpy old lady. I'm a grumpy old lady. So we'll see. But I'm thinking I might have him try to come stay with me through November, you know, or we'll see. But he's already got like a place picked out to go to when he leaves here. He doesn't have a place other than our son's place to stay where they're at right now, but he wants to go back to a different state, where he's got, I think it's like a, what's it called? It's kind of like a halfway house type thing, you know, place where you know they help you know troubled men get on their feet, you know.
Grumpy old lady, gang, gang. I hear you, Candy. But I am glad to hear that he has a plan after his stay with Candy to sort of get back on his feet. So it's good to have an end date. That's all I'm going to say. It's good to have an end date when you have someone you're unsure with staying with you.
He's opinionated. He's gruff. A little bit loud. Oh man, got a little bit of something to say about everything. But he's a good dude at heart. He really is, you know.
Sounds a lot like Thomas, hungry hippie. You know, before therapy, Candy would always staunchly defend Thomas, even though we all saw he was very loud, very opinionated. Maybe it's the same way with her ex. And maybe it'll take therapy, or maybe it'll take this visit for that to come to light. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to see where this goes. Now, about dieting, Candy's talking a lot about eating like carnivore, a lot of meat. She only ate 2 of these cupcakes, but I'm going to leave you a clip with her stance on dieting, as always.
On a diet. No, we're not dieting here. Nope.